Hey friends, I am just driving and I'm thinking, and this is something that I have been thinking about a lot. So first of all, please forgive me if I'm not looking at the camera because I gotta look at this road. But first, happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful, wonderful, amazing moms out there. You are a gift, and you're priceless. And that is making the assumption that you're doing the mom job. But no, seriously, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, stepmoms, all the aunties who are momming. We just appreciate you so much as a society. Thank you for what you are doing for our community. So that's number one. Number two, as a child care provider, I have a lot of thoughts about just the state of child care today. And these are thoughts that I have as a parent and
watch out, vehicle on shoulder ahead,
and as a child care provider. This whole thing about affordable child care is something that is much bigger than the government. It is much deeper, it is much more profound, it's much more institutional than any answer that the government can give us. Free child care for all is not going to be the answer, and I'm going to tell you why I think that. And I'm saying all of these things that I'm going to say because I would like to start a movement of people just having some honest conversation around child care. And because if we start to understand child care a little bit differently, I think that is part of the solution to affordable child care. So, first of all, back in the day, we had more stay-at-home moms. There were more moms who were staying at home or who were working part-time. And when you think about that, just from a numbers standpoint, that's fewer people who are needing to rely on child care or other providers to take care of their kids. That's not the case anymore. I don't know what the numbers are. If I had my phone, I could Google it, but I don't know what the numbers are of stay-at-home moms caring for their children full-time, 40 years ago versus what it is today. But I think we all would agree that number is much lower today. Secondly, those stay-at-home moms also help to provide care for other children in the community, for the moms who did have to go out to work or who did choose to go and work. So again, that's people not having to go and look for a daycare center because they have a lady in the neighborhood who watches kids. Next, you had grandparents, like senior citizens, not just grandparents, but older aunties, older cousins who were in the community who could help with childcare. And it was not a formal arrangement. You talked to them, you gave them whatever you gave them, financially, and in some cases, maybe not even give them anything, because a lot of times people want to help their family members out and they don't charge, provided you don't take advantage of them. But all of that is part of the community that help to take care of our kids. We don't have that anymore. So all of that was affordable child care. It was either free or you could pay for it by cooking a meal for your provider, which was your neighbor, or barter, trade, whatever. And I know those systems still exist, but not like they did back in the day. All right, so that's that one component. It's just the community child care system is not there. Number two is parenting is very different. So it's very different today. We do not have a set of standards that everyone agrees is ideal for child rearing. And this is not to say that how we reared kids in the past is superlative to, you know, what kind of parenting we have going on today. I'm not saying that, but you can make your own assessments about that. But it's very different. So now we have a lot of children who are being raised with this idea that they are the center of the world. And that's completely fine, you know, for the parents in their household, because in your world, which is, you know, your home is your castle, in that kingdom, if you want your child to be the king or the center, that's perfectly fine. But when you put your child into a group setting, a group childcare setting, what do you think is going to happen if they think that they are ruling the roost, and then there's like 5 other children, if you're in, you know, family childcare, 5 other children who think the same thing, or if you're in a daycare center and there's 10 or 15 other kids who think the same thing. Now think about it. If you only have one teacher and you have 5 kids who cannot handle the word no, or 5 kids who are used to throwing 20, 50, 60-minute tantrums, what do you think that's going to be like? So when you look at what's happening in childcare from the pandemic, since the pandemic, where it's hard to find workers, imagine if you're not in childcare, you imagine that yourself. You have 5 of your neighbors drop their kids off at your house all day, and the whole day they're screaming. They won't do what you ask them to do. They are yelling at you. They are having tantrums. Whatever. That's you one day. How would you handle that? Now just imagine they did it 2 days in a row. It was Saturday and Sunday, from 6 o'clock in the morning until 6 p.m. Your neighborhood kids did this at your house, breaking up your toys, just all kinds of stuff. That's 2 days. And would you ever do that again? I doubt it. Let's say they were all paying you. Would you do it again? I highly, highly doubt it. Now, think about people who are in childcare as a profession. They do this every day. This is their job, to deal with children who are not prepared for a group setting, and to deal with some parents who want a customized approach to dealing with their children, but they want a mass production price. So they want it to be cheap, and they want it to be like, you know, you are that person's, their child's only person. I'm saying that wrong. Their child is the only person that's in your class. So, and then on top of that, you have that child care worker who is trying to do all of these a million things, because the state says that these are the things that you need to do every day because you're caring for children. So you have these educational objectives that need to be met. You have the safety objectives that need to be met. You have environmental objectives that need to be met. And I'm not saying that those are bad, but I'm just saying, if you're there to care for kids and you have all of these other priorities that are happening, how much care do you think you're going to be able to give to the kid? Not that you can't give care to them, but you have competing priorities that are all very important. How long are you going to be able to do that? Oh, and you barely make any money. Who would do that? Like, literally, who would do that? If you are a teacher in a childcare center and you have been doing that for more than 1 year, I bless God for you. I'm telling you, because only somebody who has a call on their life, or somebody who is very, 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 very desperate and hard up for some money, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Maybe that's the only job you can get that will, you know, make sure you can be at home by a certain time, or whatever it is. That is not easy. And so you have people who don't want to be in childcare. So the turnover is high. It's a very stressful situation. And let me do an aside, because please don't get it twisted. I have been very blessed. The families that I have worked with for the last couple years have been amazing. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I prayed and I said, Lord, please send me the right people. Please send people to me who will be a good fit for me, and that I will be a good fit for their family, because I see myself as an extension of their family. And I want to pour into their children and into their families as much as I can, as much as I have to give. My kids love the family, my husband, our whole family is in this, and you will find that a lot with a lot of child care homes, that it's a family thing. And the Lord blessed me with the parents that I have. They have never not paid me. They have never devalued me. They have always taken suggestions, or we've talked to partner if there were any challenges. I have had the best experience. But I know child care providers. I have very close relationships with people who have been in the business for way longer than I have, who are the pros, 20, 30, 40 years. Not only that, but I am active in groups for child care providers. And I can tell you, what I have experienced is not what a lot of people experience. And which I have had great experiences with my parents and with my kids. But it's not like that everywhere. A lot of times, parents have issues, and then other times it's the child care provider who has issues. So this video is too long already. I just kind of had to get this out, because this is something that has been just running through my head, that I've been ruminating on, and I wanted to get a perspective out there for parents and for grandparents to have that conversation before you look for child care for your child. Think about, is my child ready for group care? Have I done what I need to do at home to prepare them to be one of many? That's what being in a community is all about. It's not about just you. So it's great that you love on your child. I mean, we have to. We're the parents. That's what we're supposed to do. We teach them. But if we're going to send them out there into a group setting for child care, please prepare them. Teach them how to listen. Have boundaries for them. Say no to them. And be consistent. You can love people and say no to them. You can say it in the sweetest way and just stick to it. And your kids will learn. It's that consistency. And when you do that, it makes it a much better environment for your child to go into. If he or she knows how to do that, and they're in an environment where other kids are doing that same thing, it makes it less stressful for the child care providers, so that they can stay. Work with the child care provider. Talk to them. They can say no. It's okay. They can say no, and then you can just find somebody else. But it doesn't have to be a relationship of disrespect. Why would you even want to disrespect somebody who's taking care of your child, who is keeping your child alive while you're at work? I don't understand that. Again, thank God I never had that, but I know it happens a lot. So take this for what it's worth. I'm sorry it's so long. I'm long-winded. But I love you, and if I have any other thoughts, I'm going to throw them out there, because I really think this is an important issue that goes beyond like politics and policies and the government giving free child care to everybody. The child care crisis is not just about affordability, in my opinion. It is also about our current culture and what has changed and how those factors impact child care affordability.
In 5.6 miles, keep right to exit 131, I-40 west to I-785 north toward Greensboro, Winston-Salem.
Okay, so now y'all know where I'm going. Anyway, y'all have a wonderful day. Please, if you have thoughts, I would love to hear them. If you have questions, whatever I can answer, I'm happy to answer. If not, I know plenty of people that I can point you to. And I love you. Have a great day. And happy Mother's Day.